Hey, everybody. Hey, it's Dr. Nic and Mike with Divine Guidance Institute, Modern Day Mystery School, teaching you the ancient way of knowing so you never get blindsided again. Hey, welcome. Welcome to our podcast. It was really interesting. We got an email the other day from a renowned individual. No names, no names. I don't want to diss anybody. But this email stated if you're looking for your soulmate and you keep dating the wrong people, it's because you feel unworthy of love. And when I read that, me and Michael, I'm here to tell you, you may be unworthy of love or feel unworthy rather, but it's got nothing to do with it. Nothing at all. The bottom line, we're talking about states of consciousness, and that's the bottom line, whether or not you're in a harmonious relationship or not. States of consciousness, we're going to get into it right now. I turn it over to Michael.
Hey, yeah, that's a good way of putting it, and that is Dr. Nick nailed it with states of consciousness. You know, what is a relationship? We're going to talk a little bit today about relationships and who isn't looking for their soulmate, who hasn't been blindsided and wasting time in a dead end relationship. Everyone has, so we've all been down that road, and relationships really are vibrations. A good way to look at it. And when we're vibing at a certain rate or harmony, it's a quantum signature. It's simple quantum physics. I know you're laughing and saying, is there such a thing as simple quantum physics? Yes and no. Everything's a vibration. That's simple. And that's a relationship also. And when we're vibing at a certain harmonious rate, we will automatically attract all other relationships that are vibing at that same harmonic rate, and consequently we will literally run into or find our soulmate, the person we're looking for. And it's kind of like a good way to remember it or see it, for me anyway. It worked out for me. It's like on the toning scale: do re mi fa sol la ti, and then it goes back to do again. That's seven different tones that we're hitting. Well, maybe we're a Ray or a me, and we're dating a Sol La Ti. They're at a different harmonic rate on that scale. So me and La really don't blend well, and consequently the relationship falls apart. There's conflict and mistrust, and once again we've wasted our time in a dead end relationship. So let me kick it off and just read something that's kind of appropriate. It's from one of our books called Sociology of Soul. Sociology of Soul. I'm just going to read a paragraph because it leads into relationships. And it begins: I think that we've all contemplated love in its many faces. So, what is true love? Where do I find it? Why do I seek it so desperately? Why do I not feel fulfilled without a partner? Why am I always lonely? And will love fill that empty void within me? Is there a perfect mate for me? What about soulmates? Yes, soulmates. How do I know when I've found my true love, my soulmate? Are all relationships hard work? It seems that way. In love, or is love worth the risk and reward? Well, the answer to these questions are contained within each of us. The key to unlocking the information is awareness and consciousness through spiritual perception. The perception and insight is gained through dreams and spiritual exercises. When we begin to cleanse the lens of perception, we begin to unlock the puzzle of life. In other words, the way we look at it, the way we see it, and eventually the way we become harmonically and start vibrating really opens that door to finding that significant other we call a soulmate. Nikki?
Yeah, good stuff. Real good stuff. Um, hey, I just want to elaborate or expand or expound a little bit on the quantum signature states of consciousness. So, as Michael mentioned, the Do Re Mi scale, and that was really creative, by the way. Good deal. We all have a quantum signature, which is the rate and frequency at which our subatomic particles are vibrating. You've got your central nervous system comprised of, Your cells and this type of thing comprised of atoms, comprised of your subatomic particles. The rate and frequency at which they vibrate denotes your quantum signature. And let's say if we could put a number on it, maybe I vibrate at a 0.237984644592, and someone else vibrates at a 0.7669, 84250. We all have a quantum signature. The whole key is to hook up with someone with a similar quantum signature or states of consciousness. Bottom line, it's got nothing to do with not feeling loved and not being worthy and da. States of consciousness. So, bottom line, if you're not in a harmonious relationship, it's simply because you and your mate are vibing at a different SOC, states of consciousness, and that's what's up. Now we've got really synced, special, unique tools so you guys can vibe harmoniously together. We'll get into that later. But for now, just understand that it's about similar SOCs. And that's why most people are together. A lot of people are not happy. They tolerate each other, whatever. And here it is. It's, that's why we have to have girls' night out, and the guy's got to have his man cave. And that's the only way we can truly stay together, remain together, and have some semblance of happiness, that we need these extra things in order to tolerate one another. So anyway, states of consciousness. I'm going to turn it back to Mike for a minute, and then we'll continue shortly after.
Yeah, so really what Nikki's talking about is that harmonic vibration. And it's interesting because in life, what I found in relationships is that it's counterintuitive. In other words, when we're out there, believe it or not, when I was out there constantly seeking that soulmate, that relationship, tired of all the relationships I was in and getting beat up and blindsided, always looking for the one, and I couldn't seem to find them because when I'm looking vibrationally, people can feel it. I'm searching. I'm pushing hard outward. I'm pushing. I'm going here. I'm going there. I'm going to church. Do I meet anyone there? I'm going to special meetings. Do I meet them there? I'm going to bars. I'm going on social platforms and medias and, oh my God, dating scenes. And I still can't find them. That's because I'm looking so hard. And that vibration I create by seeking really pushes the opportunity away to meet the one that I'm really hoping to meet. So it's realizing that we need to take a deep breath and relax and be in the moment and realize that in and of ourselves, we're already complete. We are complete. That doesn't mean we wouldn't appreciate and have great appreciation and fun with the soulmate, because we would, because they are like our mirror self. They're at a very, very similar vibration. It's like looking in the mirror. Oh my God, I found myself. Yeah, that's my soulmate. And it's really like that, but they always step up and get attracted to us when we relax and become neutral, because at that point, the vibes are simply becoming, in the neutrality, they're becoming more harmonic, which allows that other person to feel the attraction, and they will, because like attracts like. I mean, think about it. We hang out with the people that we vibe with. That's the best way of stating it. And you hang out with people who have similar vibes. Oh, those people like this type of food, and those people are vegan, and those people like to go to the beach, and so do I. And these people, we have similar feelings about the different events. And outwardly, that's how we look at it. But what's really going on at a quantum level is a similar vibration. So we want to be vibing at a neutral rate so it allows others to see and step into our vibration. And that's how we begin to attract and find our soulmate, the one.
Nice. And yeah, essentially what Michael's saying is if we have a desperate vibe, we're going to chase the world away. When you have a neutral vibe, people can enter into your sphere, your SOC, and they're not going to get any resistance. They're not going to have any weird vibes coming from that individual. So the neutrality is a great place to be. It's also a serene place for ourselves. It's not even about pushing people away or getting people in sync with us. It's about having harmony within ourselves and serenity. I want to mention a couple things here. Soulmate. So what's up with the soulmate deal? Soulmate, here's the definition of a soulmate: a person ideally suited to another as a close friend or romantic partner. And that's really ideally a soulmate. It's like, is there one individual that's perfect for us in this lifetime? No, 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 no. You're going to have several partners, perhaps, and maybe there is just one and you stay married for 50 years. Michael and I have been together 29 years now, So, but before that, we've dated thousands of people between us. And, this is kind of the way you go through life. And so soulmate, is there just one? No. Can there be one? Yeah. One ideal mate, someone you totally resonate with. But it doesn't mean like that you're synced up at that soul level and there's only one and it's now and it's forever. This definition, like I said, is really fabulous. A person ideally suited to another as a close friend or romantic partner. And again, it's similar SOC, similar states of consciousness. So what does that look like? We can say it and talk about the quantum signature, but what does it look like? It's simply this. It's simply, you both like pizza, you both want to go to Italy, you both have a master's degree, you both don't want kids, you both grew up Christian, you both drive, Corvettes, your favorite color is blue, you both like the movies, you both hate to golf, you want, these things are a reflection of your state of consciousness. So how do you know what your thing is? It's not, that old maxim, opposites attract. No, 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 no. Here we go. Opposites attract for 2 minutes. They do attract, but only for a blip. Then ultimately, the disharmony comes in, takes over, and opposites ultimately do not resonate or sustain. So it goes back to similar states of consciousness once again. And you can simply look at it with all of the likes and dislikes and everything that you are. You both believe in reincarnation, this, that, and the other. You both want to live in California. So it's really reflected in the likes and the dislikes, which goes back to the quantum signature or similar states of consciousness.
That's a good way of putting it. And, to start with, like for most people, at least it was for me, and that is, rather than getting into the real dynamics and the foundation, which is quantum physics, because everything's a vibration, period, the end, that's it. Everything's a vibration. And you can understand it that way. But outwardly, simplistically, yeah, it's how close are we to that person in terms of our likes and dislikes. Like I had mentioned earlier, we maybe we like the same type of food. Maybe we're both vegan. Maybe we both eat dessert first before the meal. I do, and I love desserts. And Nicole loves desserts. It's like, well, that's not. Yeah, it is actually that. And you may find someone who's intriguing, and they are your opposite, but only for a minute. And then you cannot stand them anymore because they are so opposite. They're like magnets. Opposite magnets repel. You've seen them. It pushes them away, whereas most magnets attract. Whoop, suddenly they're together, and that's the thing behind finding a partner or a soulmate. So it kind of opens that door. I wanted to read just one more little thing too. It's kind of interesting in sociology of soul. It has to do with hooking up with your soulmate or the one. And it was entitled Power Coupling. There is a geometric increase in energy and vibrations when we hook up with the right partner. Remember the biblical advice of where two or more are gathered in my name. In other words, you increase your power dramatically. It refers to the power of spiritual teamwork. Our mission here on Earth can be turbocharged and placed on a fast track when we employ the dynamics of spiritual coupling. Actually, we are whole within ourselves, but we must play out the dualistic drama while here on Earth. Consequently, the journey is quickened by the addition of a spiritually aware partner who serves to balance the yin yang element of life. The mystery of life is locked within each of us. We possess the key, but often fail to perceive it. Spiritual relationships or couplings serve to illuminate the darkness within each of us and thereby highlight the key. So I found that really appropriate in the sense that we have all the power within us. But when we hook up with that soulmate who is resonating and vibrating at the same consistency and rate, suddenly our light goes from being a 20-watt bulb to being a 2,000-watt bulb. We bring that power with us as a couple. We resonate, and it's really a event when we find that other person, when we find the one, when we find the soulmate. So it's worth pursuing, but mainly, rather than pursue, I would say be aware of. Just be aware of your surroundings. Be in the moment and notice when that soulmate approaches. You're going to feel it. It's a feeling. It's not a thought. It's a feeling. You'll feel it. It's intuitive.
Yeah. Indeed, it certainly is. Like, let's see. There's so many points we want to cover here. We're going to talk about the chemicals of love. Yes, we are. We're going to talk about texting versus talking and the different chemicals it releases. We're going to tell you my story. Michael's going to tell you his story, or maybe I'll share both stories for you. We're going to talk about online dating. Yeah, let's jump right in. First off, online dating. So a lot of us do the online dating thing, and I hear it all the time from clients, I'll never find the one, or I'll never get married, or I can't seem to find anyone cool, or no one wants to marry me. And I'm here to say, no. Again, you're looking in the wrong place. That's all. Your criteria. If it's online dating, you need to change the criteria of the person you're looking for, so you enter into a different state of consciousness pool of people. So if you got the same criteria, you're going to get the same results of the same SOC of those people responding to you, and then things don't go forward. If you change the criteria you're looking for, you're going to enter a different pool, a different state SOC or state of consciousness group of people, and then you're going to harmonize more. The other thing I want to mention is being true to yourself. A lot of people, they want to puff up who they are online. They don't want to speak truth. Like, I go to church every Sunday. I'm a Catholic. I don't want kids. I love, I love this president, and this is my politics, and I do this, and I can't stand this, and I want to work out every day. Be as truthful as you can on your online profile. Hide nothing, because then you're automatically going to also attract the person perfect for you. Do not hide anything. Put it all out there, because then you're going to meet the right person. The more we hide our true self, then chances are we're never going to connect with that real person. But the sooner you can be comfortable with yourself and confident with yourself and reveal the truth of who you are, because it's rather freaking awesome to be that special and to be that person, those people will magnet onto you that are of a similar SOC, a similar rate, a vibration, a similar state of consciousness. So reveal who you are, and that's also a shortcut. Change the criteria on the online dating. That's an absolute shortcut. The other thing, well, wait, I'm going to see if, Michael, you want to comment?
No, you nailed it. Yeah, you nailed it. And it's really a matter of, it's simply a matter of communicating and being transparent. Like Nic says, be yourself, be your true self, because when you're being your true self, you attract all those others who are just like you.
Nice.
As opposed to, putting on that really fancy dress or putting on that 3-piece suit, and boy, you look good, walk good, but you're lying, and you're telling half truths, untruths, And it's like, whoa, I'm going to attract some people this way. Yeah, you certainly will attract them, and they will blindside you, and you'll go, wow, where did that come from? It came from you. So hey, wake up,
Yeah.
be yourself, find out who you are. And there's a good exercise which I do in the morning, and I'd recommend it. Look in the mirror, and I look in the mirror, and I look into my own eyes in the mirror, and I say, I love you. And I feel the love. I can feel the golden leaf of love coming from my eyes. And I accept myself in that moment. And sometimes I even hug myself, wrap my arms around myself. And that keeps me in my true self, allows me to resonate at my true vibrational rate, and try to be as forward and forthcoming on a daily basis as I can. That way, the people, events, and things that I attract are on my vibrational bandwidth. And that's kind of what Nic was referring to. And it's a matter of really just communicating with yourself to be transparent and be who you are meant to be.
Oh, vibrational bandwidth. Now that is cool. I like that. Vibrational bandwidth. Abso-freaking-lutely. Yeah. Back in the beginning, I used, before Michael and I hooked up, Michael was dating 5 people at the same time. Okay. Yes, 5 people. And I was dating random people. I would call them flavor of the month, because after a month, you get to know someone well enough, and I would know if they were in my vibe or not, on my same wavelength, bandwidth, as Michael put it. And that's why I'd call them flavor of the month, because it would take a month or less to figure it out, to know for certain. And then I'd on to the next, on to the next, on to the next, because you shouldn't waste time either with a different SOC. You should recognize it early on and move on to the next. That way you can be with your perfect mate and they can be with their perfect mate. In the meantime, we're wasting each other's time and energy. And you know what? It's actually selfish. The most unselfish thing you can do is actually release that person so they can be with their perfect mate, and do the same for yourself. When we're hanging on just for the sake of hanging on, we're really doing a disservice to ourselves. We're doing a disservice to them. It also tends to be selfish on our part. And so the most loving thing we can actually do is set them free and set ourselves free, and on to finding someone more harmonious, simply put. So anyway, when I met Michael and I knew he was the one instantly, after getting ghosted and after getting blindsided, dating someone for a while, and he's supposed to pick me up on New Year's Eve. And this is before cell phones and everything. This is in the 90s. Supposed to pick me up on New Year's Eve. Hey, I'll pick you up in a few hours. He never showed up. Till this day, I never talked to the guy. I was devastated. I cried for 4 days straight. I wondered, what happened? Is he dead? Is he alive? Is he in the hospital? What the hell? And what I found out is, no, he just really didn't want to be with you anymore, Nicole. It was pretty simple. But crying for 4 days straight, I had a dream, and here we go. This is what turned me on to dreams and how they give you all your answers. I had a dream, and in the dream, he was walking away from me, holding hands with his 2 daughters, heading away from me. And when I woke up, the message that came in, he got back with his family and was heading in another direction. Yes. And immediately I had relief. I came into full knowingness of what happened, and I could move on with my life. It's like I got my answer, full knowingness, relief, and like, wow, okay, thank you. Thank you so much. And that's when I realized how much the universe, your higher self, God, Holy Spirit, whatever belief system you have, loves you so much that wants you to be okay, wants you to be serene, wants you to feel comfortable, confident, and in full knowingness. And so anyway, that's what, and then shortly thereafter, Michael, he was my teacher, and we met in the classroom. He walked in the first day. I laid eyes on him, and I knew he was the one. The bells went off. I ran home and told my roommate, I'm going to marry this guy, and he was twice my age. She thought I was crazy. And I said, well, whatever. And then, after that semester ended, I asked Michael out. We did lunch. Then we did dinner the next day. Then we were engaged in 90 days, married in 9 months. Okay. Now let's back up for a minute. When I asked Michael out, he was dating 5 other females simultaneously. 5. Yes, he's a chick magnet, total chick magnet. So
I had to get rid of all 5, all 5 chicks. They were baby chicks. Okay. Anyway,
and how did you know?
It was interesting, and I knew because I had 3 years before Nicole walked into my classroom, sociology class that I was teaching. For the first day, I had had a dream 3 years prior. So, rewind. 3 years prior to that moment, I had had a dream with Nicole in it. Her name was Nicole in the dream, looked like Nicole, had brown eyes like Nicole. And even in the dream, she wore a purple outfit.
Yep.
She had a purple outfit on. They caught my attention in the dream, and I even journaled the whole thing. And it was such an experience that eventually, when we were living in Arizona in Phoenix, they sent a camera crew in, NBC, CBS, somebody, and did the whole story because it was so dramatic and stunning. But I'd had that dream, and there's Nicole. She walks into my class, and it changed my life because it let me know that dreams are showing us, they're a prophecy. They're showing us, for me, showing me a snapshot of where my life was going to take a right turn. I was going to head in a different direction. I'd found my soulmate, literally, in a dream. And then she walks into my class. And just to confirm that, when I was walking her back to her car on our second date, maybe, her license plate had the initials of my previous wife, all 3 initials. And it was like, whoa, it hit me so hard. Like, this is going to be a significant relationship. Your life is changing. You guys are going to hook up. It was a confirmation.
Yep.
So, yeah.
So, but I got to back up here. Michael did not remember the dream when he met me. Okay. He did not remember the dream, and he was going to get to that part, but I wanted to jump in. So, deja vu. You've heard the term deja vu. Deja vu is French, and it means having seen before. What a deja vu experience is a forgotten prophetic dream. A forgotten prophetic dream. So Michael did not remember the dream when he saw me in the classroom. Some bells went off. There was some recognition, but he wasn't able to pinpoint it. Okay. Then when I asked him out, then my license plate had the sign, the letters, which were the initials of his first wife, as he mentioned, KRW. And that was the sign for him. Now, keep in mind, I didn't tell him that I knew he was the one. He didn't tell me about the deja vu. He didn't tell me about the sign. We were working individually and separately with our own tools. And that is how we put together the whole thing we're talking about. That's how we put together the Trust Yourself system. That's how we wrote the books and why we wrote the books. That's why we put together the Divine Guidance Institute, the ancient way of knowing, so you never get blindsided again. It all came from us uniting, and in the way that which we did, using the tools. We used the tools to actually build the thing around the tools. So it's integrated in such a way, and that's why we call it a mission, to share this with you, to make your life a little bit easier. So you don't get blindsided, you don't get burned. We can shortcut the process. We can get through all the things that aren't meant for us to get to the final goal, or to get to a happy place or harmony, however you want to word it, by using these tools, dream signs, intuition, and then the hue, for which turns on the system and it heightens your abilities. And we're going to give you a demo of the hue here in a minute. So, my point is, I had the flavor of the month and getting ghosted and all this bullshit. Michael dealt with his 5 people trying to find a soulmate. And then, when he met me on that second date, he got rid of all 5 people, slowly over those course of the couple weeks. And so by using these tools, you shortcut the process and get there a little quicker, and you don't waste time. et cetera, et cetera. And you also know if that person's legit or not, or if they're full of shit. You know, their profile, like, is it real, or is that photo real, and is it current, or what's going on? So these tools help with all of those things.
And we call it the ancient, Nick nailed it. We call it the ancient way of knowing. And it is the most direct way, because everyone says to us, well, how do you know? How do I know if I should take that job? How do I know if I should invest in that stock? How do I know I should even date this person? Or are they lying to me? How do I know? How do I know? The ancient way of knowing, we're always being given the answer. It's called divine guidance. And the answer comes in through dreams. We all sleep and dream every night, everybody, whether you remember them or not. We all see synchronicities on a daily basis. The answers come in synchronicities, or coincidence, we call them. And intuition, your gut feeling, not your head, not your thoughts, but the feeling. It comes in the solar plexus area. Those three things are guiding us in a divine sense, giving us all the answers that we need to make the right choice 110% of the time, to find our soulmate, to invest in the right stock, to find the right job. All those things, there's no way to know. Yes, there is. It's right in front of us. It is us. We are vibing at a certain rate. In other words, that is what we need to pay attention to: dream signs and intuition. And Nicole mentioned the solution, the quick start. Like, well, how do I start that system up? It's called hue, and it's the key that turns the system on. And when we hue, we basically are turning on that knowingness system within ourselves to get the answer to everything and anything we are seeking, from soulmate to Scooby-Doo. And here's a demo of the hue, and that way you'll have it and you can use it. Nick?
Okay, cool. Yeah, be glad to. You simply inhale, and on the exhale, you say hue, like hue. Again, real simple. Inhale, and on the exhale, hue. The cool thing, you can do it out loud, silently, eyes opened, eyes closed, while you're doing the dishes, while you're in the shower, while you're driving, while you're sitting at a meeting. It is that user friendly. You don't have to take any extra time. You can just do it in the moment. Again, and you'll feel it. That's how, like, yeah, we're telling you, right? But you're going to actually know it, because you're going to feel it. You're going to go, holy shit, this is the real deal. And then, the cool thing is, if you do it daily, it's going to build up. It's going to activate all of your innate abilities. It's going to enhance your gut feelings. It's going to enhance your dream recall. It's going to enhance your level of knowingness. So it's kind of all in one. You're going to end up, people that do it, it's like, oh my God, I'm not smoking as much crack. I want to bring down my methadone dose. I'm not smoking as many cigarettes. Me and my husband, we're getting along better. We're having more sex. We're communicating. I'm not as mad. All these things happen.
Because it is one magic word, and that's what we call it, one magic word. And people go, really? Like real magic? Yeah, like real magic. And the test is simple. It is so simple. Try it, you will feel it, and you will know it. And suddenly you feel like you can breathe again. Suddenly things kind of expand in your consciousness, your world, and you feel like things are, they're more harmonious, and everything comes together with the hue. And it's not like other things. No, it's not like
It's
people
quicker,
go, oh,
quicker.
it's like the ohm. No, it's not. It's much quicker, higher, finer, and it works 110% of the time. And it healed me of severe PTSD and nightmares and depression. And when I come back from Vietnam, I didn't get any doctors, didn't use any therapists, didn't do any medications. I just started hewing. And we have thousands of testimonials of people who are all the way from suicidal to completely depressed, sitting on the side of the curb. They started hewing, suddenly their life gets better. It's like that. That's why we call it one magic word.
Hey, you know what? This is real important, you guys. With relationships, I got to mention this, and it goes back to the chemicals I mentioned earlier that we were going to talk about, or just touch upon briefly. They did some testing. Okay, I've always said to my clients, not so much texting. You need to talk. Text as much as you want, rather, but make sure you are talking as much as you are texting, if not more. Talking, not just texting. I've got clients, they just start dating someone and it's purely a texting relationship. I'm like, have you spoken yet? Well, we talked once, or no, we text daily. We don't talk. We talk once a week. And it's like, no, 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 no. Number one, if you're embarking on a new relationship, do not do that. Do not do that. We have to talk as much as we text, if not more. And I'll get to why in a minute. If you're in an ongoing relationship, make sure to incorporate as much talking as texting. Oh my gosh, I cannot implore this enough. And this is what I tell my people. And I'll tell you what, then a study came out. Oh my gosh, a study just came out. And here we go. It was a study of talking versus texting and the chemicals it releases. When you text an individual, your cortisol, that's the stress hormone, your cortisol increases. And when you're talking, your cortisol decreases and your oxytocin increases. That's one of your feel-good love chemicals, oxytocin. So again, versus texting and talking to the same individual, when you text that person, the stress hormone cortisol increases and the oxy decreases, versus talking on the phone, the cortisol decreases and the oxytocin increases. So there you go. If you need some proof, some stats and on why you should talk as much as texting, if not more, do yourself a favor with the chemicals. This stuff is legit, you guys. It brings more bonding to the relationship. It goes deeper. The texting alone stresses us out, henceforth the cortisol, hormone. So do yourself a favor and then do the relationship a favor. For real, for real, for real. You want to comment, Michael, or say anything here?
Just that that pretty well nails it. It's an overall physiological and emotional intelligence or wellness that occurs with the oxytocin when it's released. It's the same chemical that's released in mothers when they have their baby. Their oxytocin is real high, and that's a bonding element. And the males who are there for the birth, their oxytocin also goes extremely high. And if they're not there for the birth, guess what? It's extremely low, and they don't bond as well. And that's what it's about in communicating in relationships. You get that chemical bonding that's going on. So,
it takes things to a higher level.
Yes, definitely takes you to a higher state of consciousness, and that's truly what it's all about.
Oh! One last thing. If you're in a relationship, this is another thing I always tell my people. And so, in doing the podcast, we're sharing it with you. These are the tips, the tools. This is the stuff that changes things, the real deal. If you're in a relationship and it's not great, it's not harmonious, whatever, you're having issues, each of you start hewing using the one magic word. Listen, if one of you is hewing regularly using one magic word, but your mate is not, have your mate start using one magic word immediately. Nothing will bring you closer together and start vibing at a higher rate, both of you changing your SOC, than the hew. It's the quick, it's the shortcut. It's going to elevate the relationship. It's going to elevate the bonding. It's going to elevate the harmony. You'll feel it. So if you're having any issue at all, yeah, you can do therapy and meds, etc., etc. But what I'm saying, the shortcut, you and your mate start hewing on the daily. You don't have to do it together. Like I said, it can be out loud, silent, doing the dishes, eyes open, eyes closed. You could get all yogaed out and do the hew however you want to use it. But get your mate to start hewing and things will really start shifting. Within a week, you guys are going to be at a better level, a better space, a better place. So we leave you with that. I've got a couple parting words. Michael, you want to say anything?
Just that's a great tip. If you hew and start hewing together, and Nic and I, for example, also read together every morning, regardless. I don't care what's going on or how busy we are. we take time to read from our favorite sources, our favorite books, and it's a form of communication and bonding that keeps that bond, that vibration open. The communication continues, and then the hewing that just takes you to a higher state of consciousness. Yeah.
Yeah, it sure does. So hey, you got some cool tips and things you can incorporate. Oh, with the online dating, or with your current mate, or with future mates, and how to know and whatnot. So if you want to get hold of us, you can go to our website, divineguidanceinstitute.org, and you can email us. You can sign up for our free newsletter. You can donate to the 501c3 nonprofit. You can buy our books if you want to do it yourself. You want to work directly with us for coaching. Anything you need, you can hit us up through divineguidanceinstitute.org and get rocking and rolling. So hey, until next time. Signing off, Dr. Nic and
And Mikey Mike, have a good one.
all righty. Bye, everybody.